The real stakes, that's the focus of tonight's angle. The media are working overtime to get you wound up about nonsense. And it's all a sideshow, so don't take your eye off the ball. Today, what matters is understanding two camps that make up America's stark divide. Now, on the one side, we have what the Angle calls the regime. It's a coalition of Democrats, Republicans, the media, and certain portions of the business community, all of whom are committed to an agenda that empowers the super rich in various international organizations. Now, on the other side, there's a growing populist conservative movement that's determined to use power and leverage of the United States government to empower working-class Americans. And they're going to do that by bringing up living standards and ensuring that they have more control over their own lives. Now, the stakes for the country couldn't be higher. Gallup just released results of an eye-opening poll. It asked, what do you think is the most important problem facing this country today? 10% said the economy, 11% said immigration, 15% said inflation, and topping the list, 21% said the government and poor leadership is the major problem. Yeah, more Americans say the federal government, which is supposed to be working for us, is the biggest problem out there. And the other problems, like high prices, are caused by the reckless government policies. So why are we all surprised? It makes perfect sense to the Angle, because for the regime, the federal bureaucracy exists to carry out its policies no matter who the voters elect. So if we pick someone like a Trump or a DeSantis, the regime will expect federal bureaucrats to do everything possible to undermine that president, to prevent any significant changes to the regime's policies. On the other hand, when we have a President Biden, the regime will move forward with measures that are so patently illegal, such as that loan forgiveness scheme, and they'll be livid if the courts try to stop them. We populists believe that our government should be of, by, and for the people, and that the voters, not the bureaucrats, should set the course on policy. And of course, the regime wants open borders. We just talked about this because they believe that it is immoral for the United States to deny entry to anyone who wants to come here. But also because it gives big business an unlimited supply of cheap labor that it can use to hold wages down. Well, we populists believe that being an American citizen is a privilege that should come with real benefits, not just obligations. And we know that closing the border would inevitably lead to higher wages for American workers. For the regime, defending Europe, though, that's the top foreign policy goal for the United States. Europe is the heart of globalization, after all. It's the home to the European Union, the World Trade Organization, the World Health Organization, and countless other outposts of globalization. They're all opposed to the primacy of the nation state, our sovereignty. And believe me, they all speak the same language.
What we are about is standing up for basic principles, basic rights, and a rules-based international order.
A lot of people would like to see there are two orders in this world. This is a huge mistake. We need a single global order.
The regime also sees Europe as the model for our future. A technocratic state where elections don't carry much weight and most policy decisions are made by unelected bureaucrats. So from their perspective, Europe cannot be allowed to fail.
We will be with the Ukrainian people for as long as it takes for them to defend themselves.
As I told President Zelensky when he was here, we're with you for as long as it takes.
As long as it takes, no matter what it costs, even to the point of risking nuclear war. It's always America first, Europe first, and Americans last. But the populists believe the real threat lies in Asia, and that 78 years after the end of World War II, the Europeans should really be managing their own situations.
We've worked together on getting some of our allies to pay their fair share. At some point, I think it's going to have to go higher. I mean, Germany, honestly, is not paying their fair share. I have a great feeling for Germany, but they're not paying what they should be paying. So we're paying for a big proportion of NATO, which basically is protecting Europe.
Bingo. They hated him for saying that. He was 100% right. It's worse, actually, though, because we're also paying for a disproportionate share of Europe's proxy war with Russia now. And then, of course, there's China, which the regime sees as primarily a helpful partner. Regime spokesmen like John Kerry see China as an ally.
What can be done about China? China, interestingly enough, China has a plan. More electric vehicles will be put on the road over the next year or so in China than in all the rest of the world put together.
And the Chamber of Commerce and other business groups, they see China as a potential market and a source of cheap labor. Silicon Valley and Hollywood, they see China as a place to sell their intellectual property. Works for them. Because the regime doesn't really care about what happens to Asia, they're fundamentally indifferent to the fact that China is using their gargantuan trade surplus with the United States to build the most powerful military in the world. Well, we populists believe that China is an existential threat to the freedom of Americans, that we should stop helping to make the CCP rich, and that our military and our foreign policy should be refocused on the threat from China. And let's face it, the regime sees climate change as an urgent danger that will destroy humanity unless Americans accept drastic reductions in our standard of living. They want us to live in smaller spaces, ditch our gas appliances, and certainly ditch our automobiles. They want to reverse almost all the progress we've enjoyed since the end of World War II and cram us into congested cities and force us to use Beijing-style bike lanes. Well, the sane among us see that as just another rerun of what they did with COVID, an agenda designed to control us, and it will do almost nothing to address the alleged problem that they're citing. Destroying our economy, preventing innovation, it's not going to save the planet. It's just going to make it easier for China and other countries to push us around. And finally, for the regime, the greatest threat to humanity, other than climate change, comes from social conservatives, or whatever faith. They're far more dangerous than the CCP or even foreign terrorists, for that matter. The regime knows that people whose hope lies in heaven and who pay more attention to the Bible than to the media aren't easily manipulated or bossed around. This is why they seek to upend traditional institutions like law enforcement, the military, and the nuclear family.
While the image of the nuclear family is often held up as the ideal and only form a family can take, whether or not that's true seems to vary by social group and region. It's important to remember, whatever form, shape, or size it takes, we have the power to define what family should look like for ourselves.
And of course, anti-American propaganda is their lifeblood, which the populists are working to expose, especially parents fighting the radicalism in our schools today. So all these policy differences that I laid out, they're big, they're serious. And as we ramp up for 2024, they should be our focus, not whatever shiny objects the press dangles to divide us. And that's the angle.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.